Having one of those days where it's ending on such a sour note that I just feel like a constant failure at this mom thing, right? Like some moments are going okay. I think I've got a little bit together, right? And then other moments it's just I'm so sad about how tonight ended and I'm replaying it in my head. I'm wishing that I could go back and change my reaction, but I know you feel me, right? You, as a mom, you understand that by a certain time of the day, you're just done. You are exhausted. You are fried. You have really nothing left to give. But unfortunately, tonight, that ended up coming out and affecting my middle son, who is the one that, sweet guy, he's the one that is always trying to take care of everybody else, be there, be so supportive, not make any trouble. He's just so incredible. And all he wanted was for me to play a game with him tonight. But somehow, again, solo parenting right now for the time being, it was a long, long day. I had to work today, and it was so hard to try and work with my son home, my other son, my oldest son, who has to quarantine for his class. Um, and I was so scattered and so frazzled from trying to be in all the places today mentally, right? It is so hard to shift your attention from the mom world to the working world or professional world. And anyway, then come home, round everybody up, come home, make dinner, try and get things cleaned up, and then start the bed and bath time routine. And so I had said to my two older kids, please help me with the dishes, take a shower, get ready for bed, and then I'll put the little guy to sleep. He's 3. And then we'll have some time for reading a book and playing a game before your bedtime. So honestly, they did that, right? But they were kind of messing around and they were just causing a few, it's not that they were causing trouble. They're playing, they're kids, they're having fun, but it's dilly-dallying and I don't know, it just kind of it got to me. And again, I was just so tired and the whole day had just been long. And I look at the clock and it was already 8:15. And I normally try and have my kids in bed by around 8 o'clock at the latest because again, I'm just done by that time of day. Plus they usually get up really early, sometimes 5:30 or 6, and it's just the days are long. So I looked at the clock, I saw how late it was, I realized that they hadn't put their pajamas on and they hadn't brushed their teeth, and I didn't lose it, but I was just very firm, like, nope, we're not reading, we're not playing a game. And my middle son, who is 5, just snapped. He just bawled. He just broke down in the most horrible, sad, heart-wrenching tears and said the truth. He's like, you lied to us. You always say you're going to play with us and you never do. And you're always so busy. You're always working. And just throwing all of those lines, but it's the truth. It is so hard to be a mom, and especially a working mom, let alone a working mom who is trying to take care of 3 kids and manage their e-learning and all these things while her husband is gone. And it was a long, hard day. It's been a long, hard week, and I don't know, but my heart just sank. I knew I had messed up, and yet I don't know, like we just got into this whole long discussion, and I'm trying to explain to him, I'm just trying to be really honest that mommy's sorry, she's having a hard time, she has to work to help make money for our family, but I always love you. And he doesn't want to hear it. He's like, no, you don't love us. And I realized there is such a difference between knowing you are loved and feeling loved in the moment. And so if you have not heard of the 5 love languages or checked out the 5 love languages for kids, it is so enlightening. It's so true. And this son, this middle child of mine, his love language is totally quality time. And, I think any mom struggles to have time for it all and as much time and energy as she would like to give her children or child. But then again, especially if you are a mom of multiple kids and young kids, my kids are 3, 5, and 7, and they are all still so needy, not in a bad way, but just like they're not fully independent. They have to be monitored and directed. And the 3-year-old in particular needs a lot of attention. He just sort of dominates things right now. And so my poor sweet middle son, he just ends up being the one that doesn't get that much one-on-one time and attention. We've tried a lot of different things. I try and do some tuck-in time days where a different day of the week is one kid's time for extra minutes with mom before bed, but it's never enough. And then when there are these moments where he's expecting something and I have said I'm going to do something and then it doesn't happen for whatever reason, even if it's a legitimate reason, like, again, tonight they hadn't fully done what I had hoped they would do to get themselves ready for bed by that point. It's just not fair. It's not right to him. And I just feel like such a bad mom. I feel like such a failure. And I wish I could go back and just change it all. I wish that I could just keep my mouth shut, ignore the clock, spend those extra 15 minutes playing a game with him and end the day on a happy note, right? Where he does feel loved and appreciated. Instead of him crying himself to sleep, I'm trying to get close to him and snuggle him and, sing him songs and say prayers and just hold him. And I ended up spending a good 15 minutes in there anyway, but it wasn't a good connection. It wasn't a moment where he felt all the love that I do have for him. So then the other part was that right as I'm about to walk out the door and I think I've got him a little bit settled, he says, "Mom, I want something for my birthday." I was like, "Okay, what do you want?" His birthday's not for a few months, but yeah, sure, what is it? He said, "I want a tablet so that I can play games by myself anytime I want." Like, oh my gosh, isn't that just what is really going on? He would so happily turn to a device or anything that would give him the quality time that he's not getting right now from me. And I have been that mom that is pretty opposed to screen time. My kids don't have tablets or their own computers or anything right now. We really need to get something because e-learning has been a disaster. But I have really mixed feelings about giving them their own tablets for precisely that reason. I don't want them playing games or staying up late or just, doing things on there. And I don't know how to figure out all the parental controls and the things you've got to think about in this day and age. That's a whole other conversation. But anyway, he wants a tablet so that he always can have somebody play with him and play games. And oh gosh, I have done so wrong tonight. So, as always, I'm just pouring my heart out to you because I know as a mom going through it yourself, you can hopefully relate. I love sharing what I'm going through so that hopefully you feel better about it too. And we're all just doing the best we can. I'm thinking about this nonstop now, and I have so many ideas for how I want tomorrow to be better, for the way that I'm going to make it up to him without, officially telling him that's what I'm doing. But it's just a good lesson for me. It's a good lesson for all of us moms to just muster up that energy some way, somehow, and spend the time with our kids, because when we don't, we are breaking their poor little hearts. And I'm so sad. I'm so sad about how I handled that. Don't be like me. Have a good night. I'll talk to you soon.